Good morning, Cream.
You timed that poorly. I think we should have taken our sips first and then.
I mean, it's a podcast. It's recorded. It's not live. We could do over and do like a proper intro.
I was about to say, but then that'll give them an expectation for a certain level of standard. But I mean, I'm at the point where I think I'm with them that this does need to be better.
Aye. I think we've got the fastest plateau in podcasting history.
Aye.
Flame emoji. Like, we have reached an amount of people who listen to this podcast.
And that's it.
And
We found them all.
They're like, we're in, by the way. We'll love you guys. We're in.
Aye.
But I feel like...
I can't tell my friends I listen to this.
But I feel like anybody that dips in now...
Yeah.
Like you say, people aren't recommending this
No.
now. They're like, oh, it's too far gone.
Aye.
It's one big in-joke.
It's not, when people ask them what podcast do you listen to, you don't say this one. You're just like, I can't even explain it to you.
You wouldn't know them.
Aye.
They go to a different school.
Aye, they don't make much sense. It's really not. You'll just find it annoying. I'm used to them not finishing stories and being too hard to finish sentences. And it's because I've just lowered my standards over 7 years now.
It's marriage. It's marriage.
They fucking wore me down.
Missionary podcast sex. Lights off under the covers.
Aye, just doing it for the kids. Just doing it for the patrons at this point.
We're just still together for the parents.
Oh,
we're not even on the road anymore.
Nah, we tidied this up. Right, if you're watching this, on the cameras, we tidied up the desk a little bit, but also I think in the next couple of months.
We forgot to move this pen.
No, that I know that makes us look like we, that there was planning before this.
That you make little edit notes.
I just write my crush's name in the palm of my hand.
just write that S. Superman is. It's
Aye.
not even Superman, but
man, let me tell you, with the second name Sloss, when I discovered that letter, I'm like, well, I mean, what a day.
Incredible. Scenes. I used to write my name, right, using like kind of like blades, like a triangle, like not an actual blade, but like it starts at a sharp point and ends up like at a, you know what a triangle is. Yeah. So I did a Kai made of 3 of those.
You know that you've literally just done that, Andy, asking us things. You know what a triangle is? Yeah, I've heard of them.
Aye, but like with a looping arc on it, like long triangles, right? And I did the A with the 3 of them, and then the I with one of them, right? And I was about to get that tattooed on my skin when I was 18. Like the same letter in that happy walk use. And I'm just about to get Kai tattooed on my skin with it. Like my tattoos that I did get aren't much better.
Yeah. I was gonna say, it's not like either of us are rocking around with sick tats. We've just got a bunch of, decisions we made at a time. I think that's the way tattoos should be done. Sure, you can turn your body into a canvas and be an absolute work of art for some of the best tattoo artists out there. Or you can let people doodle on you. That's the way how much do you respect your body? Because I don't respect mine that much. Like, I'll at the moment I'm being healthy-ish. I'm going, I'm working out, I'm just, eating a little bit better. But that's just to live longer for my son.
Yeah. You might want to meet his kids. Who knows?
Who knows? Oh, yeah. Oh, well, I guess I also want to get into a fucking decent size, wedding suit. But body-wise,
I love my new suit.
Oh, God.
I warned people about my suit, right? I was like,
sorry, just before we go down this tangent, I will just finish the other tangent we didn't finish, which is the standard of the podcast will be going up. We were cleaning this table before, I'll have you all know, and also I'll be cleaning out this entire office in about a month.
So we do like different camera angles.
Oh yeah,
we don't just have to get the one camera angle that isn't good, because even under the desk is like, when you tidy a house but you just bung everything in the cupboard.
Aye.
Like we've literally just cleaned up the portion that's on the screen. The whole place is upside down.
I think we could get like a
couple of camera angles. We could get some nice artwork.
We get another camera. I think that's the way to do it. So
we set this up like a studio.
I'm just saying. Look, imagine this podcast like this. We've been fuck buddies for years, as in you, but you've not told any of your friends that you fuck us. Like, they know you hooked up with us one night.
You see what potential is a long-term suitor.
Yeah, but you haven't for ages. Like, it's like we've just been like a...
And you flirted with other podcasts, I've seen you.
Yeah, we don't mind. We know you're listening to other shit. I know you're
we're not asking for exclusivity. Like, it's just that has commitment issues.
Aye. And we know that we're, you know, we wouldn't want to be seen on our own arms at this point. But, you know, we've started, you know.
Like, you know, before I proposed to Natalie, like, I got myself in good shape and got out of debt. It's a bit like that, isn't it? Where, like, I want to be with her forever. Just like, I'm not good enough for her just yet.
Aye, it's that. Well, look, at one point we will be bringing you the podcast you deserve. Maybe not today. Definitely not tomorrow. But at some point in the future.
But in the next 2 hours, when we're motivated, we're like Sloss and Humphries on the road 5.0.
Well, because we'll be so fucking well rested by then. Like, I already feel just like I've come out of a hibernation after tour, where it's just you go into like a mental shutdown of, I'm off tour. I'm just going to go. Everything was so fast for a while. I'm going to go purposefully slow.
The lowest programming, like you just go down to minimum CPU usage possible.
Aye, and you just sit and you exist in your house and you just fucking play games and you don't think much. Yeah. Whereas I can feel myself now emerging, going, all right, well, I guess I'm actually, I'm safe now, am I?
Yeah.
I'm actually home for a bit. Nobody's gonna fucking yank me out.
I've met my child.
Aye.
After neglecting my pregnant wife, I've met my child and hung out.
And it turns out I'm absolutely fine to neglect him.
Totally cool with that. So you got back on the road. I'm sorry I didn't join you, but it looked like you had fun with Gareth.
I did. I missed my son for. We left at 4 a.m.
Oh, this was the first time overnight away from Caleb.
No, it wasn't overnight. Literally got back. I got back last night as well.
So you did there.
But oh man, it felt like a day. Like I felt as insane as Cara is most of the time. It was like legitimately last night when I came in, I held him and I was like, "Has he changed?" And she was like, "You saw him this morning." I'm like, "Okay, right, okay." So I'm also now a mental person who's just like, he's growing up too fast, even though I've still not had a night away from him. Yeah. Our agent is very, very good at her job.
Yes.
We love her dearly. She is also an insane person. And that's one of the reasons why she's a very good agent, because you cannot negotiate with insane, right? Nah. Right? She's just...
But you have to meet them on that level, and to meet them on that level is to go insane.
They just can't. They can't compete with her. She's very, very good at her job, and insane to the nth degree.
What's she done now?
I don't know if you know that there's some problems with some fucking airports because there's understaffing because of COVID, I think.
Oh, yeah. Like, I was flying out to Dublin the other week and they were like, please turn out 3 hours before your flight. And I was like, 1.5, I'll come 1.5. Anything longer than that, that's your problem, man.
Aye. Right. Exactly, right? Exactly that. For fucking 2 weeks, Marlena has been pestering me, there's another word for it, me and Gareth, about this flights, the flights to the airport's been fucking slow and over busy, and you've got to get there 3 hours before. The flight is at 6:10, right, to France from Edinburgh on a Sunday. Now, I have a rule with Marlena, and she knows the rule, and you know the rule, and everyone knows the rule.
I'm not coming through the airport with you.
I do not go through
Even if we arrive at the same time.
I will get the taxi with you to the airport. We will get a taxi from the airport to wherever we need to go. I've got no problem with that. I will not go through an airport with Marlena.
Even though she insists on we should ambulance chase her through security.
Yeah, because Marlena has problems with her knee, which is very annoying. I know she hates it. I know if you could give Marlena one wish in the entire world, she would probably be that her knee was no longer shit. It's been shit for years.
But she'd still use it to get through the airport.
Aye. But she does.
even if she could dance like Dick Van Dyke. She'd still use her knee to get through the airport.
No. I don't think she'd put it on, but while it's sore,
yes,
might as well get all of the bonus special treatment. Now, she likes it. She likes the fact that she thinks it's faster. She thinks it's more efficient to get wheeled through the airport, and sometimes it is, and sometimes it's not. You know, she gets on the plane last or first and then has to get off last. It's not great. She doesn't enjoy every second of it, but there are definitely parts of it that she enjoys. Whereas what I enjoy at airports is getting completely and utterly baked beforehand.
Headphones in, lost in...
Headphones in, just because...
So any queuing you've got to do, you're not in the queue, you're listening to your book.
Yeah, or I'm listening to music, or I'm just high in a fucking airport. And I know to some people, that sounds like the scariest thing in the world, being high in an airport. And to them I say, first of all, depends which airport. Second of all, depends on your skin colour, obviously. Let's be real.
And also the scariest thing in the world in an airport is having to make small talk to the person next to you the whole time you're queuing.
But also, none of the security care if you're high. You're not smuggling drugs. It's not on you. Like, stop acting like a 13-year-old. Like they're gonna not let me on the plane because I'm high. They don't give a fuck that you're high. Nobody cares that you're high.
There's people who aren't high that are acting crazier than you in the airport
you're
right
fine.
now.
Just it doesn't matter. All that paranoia, I love it. It just calms me down. So if you ever meet me, I don't want to talk to anyone in an airport. I just want to be, unless you're a fan, I will say that. Unless I'm running, feel free to bother me in an airport. I always love attention.
There's something really rock and roll about being recognised in an airport. I was in the lounge once in Australia and someone come up and went, "Oh my God, my wife's a huge fan of the podcast. Will you come get a photo of it? It'll blow our mind that you're in." And I've never been happier in my life. I've literally never been happier. Couldn't have been further from home. And I was like, "Can I get a photo? I want the photo. This doesn't happen."
Well, when me and G were in Paris yesterday, we walked down to the Louvre. To get some wine and some cigarettes and just fucking look at Paris and judge everyone. And we were just sitting outside a cafe and a girl sat down and she turned around and just spoke fluent French as. And we both went, "Anglais?" And she went, "Oh, am I in your way or do you mind if I sit here?" And we were like, "Oh no, it's absolutely fine. Feel free to sit there." She went, "You're Daniel Sloss." And Gareth was like, "Get fucked." And I'm just sat there, smug as fuck, big grin on my face, being like, "This is it. This is their life." So if you ever see me in an airport, even though I don't like being spoken to or speaking to people, telling me you love me is always an exception. Unless I'm running, right? Don't be a dick. If I'm clearly sprinting somewhere. Yeah, anyway.
Just run alongside me. So Marlena.
So she thinks the fact that there's this problem at the airport that she's been reading about and hearing about, and people being like, "Oh, I was there for 3 hours, and then I was in Charles de Gaulle Airport for 3 hours, and it was really long and normal." And you're like, "Yeah, you were in Charles de Gaulle Airport. Yeah, that makes sense to me." Oh, yeah. "Oh, I've heard it was really busy at Schiphol." "Oh, wow, okay. Well, and what else is in the fucking news today?" It's a 10 past 6 flight from Edinburgh. She's like, "I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get a taxi to pick me up at 3. I'll swing by yours and Gareth at about 3:15 and 3:30. And I'm like, absolutely, take a running fuck to yourself. Marlena, I'm not having it. Go to the airport. You feel free to get there whatever time you like. Whatever time you like. I'm going to get there when I want to get there. And because she listens to me when I'm firm with her, she takes a step back. She didn't afford Gareth that. She just kept pestering Gareth. And Gareth's like, "I'm a grown man. I'm not going to miss a fucking airplane. I'm a grown man. I'm not going to miss a fucking airplane. I'm not going to go there with you, right? I don't want to get there when you get there. I've got no interest in it, right? I'll meet you there, but fine." 16 emails she sent us.
That's abuse. that comes
16 different emails to me and Gareth, just sort of really tried to express how early she really thought.
All dictated as well, like she hasn't typed any of them. They're all through the voice to text function.
Gareth is messaging me going, he's like, this is insane. Like this, I cannot believe she's like a dog with a bone. She just won't get out of it. I'm like, man, just ignore her and get there when you're going to get there. I'll meet you at the fucking airport. So I wake up, again, one more time. Flight's at 10 past 6. I wake up at 4 in the morning. That's when I've set my alarm.
Reasonable.
Absolutely fucking reasonable.
20 minutes to have a coffee, getting picked up.
I am 10 minutes away from the airport, guy. Right. Like, it's right there. Yeah. The flights go over my fucking house. I would see my plane coming in, the one I was about to get on, like a school bus. Running. No, wait for me. Come on, guys. Yeah. I get a text at 4:05 from Gareth Waugh. Oh, here's another important note that I left out. Edinburgh Airport has a really good feature on their website. They have the live time of what the security is. And it's live to like 30 seconds. Because I literally, the night before, woke up at 5 in the morning to change my son. And I looked at the phone just out of curiosity. And I was like, "Security, 3 minutes long. And I'm like, oh, this is the exact time I'll be there tomorrow. That's all I need to know. This is a Saturday. Tomorrow's a Sunday. Saying the same thing to Gareth. During the day, at like 1 PM, I go on the website, security, 7 minutes long, right? Now, if we weren't checking in, if we were checking in luggage, I would have been there way longer.
The fact that you can just go through.
It's an in and out. That's one of the most important. I've got my fucking boarding pass, and I've just got a bag on my back. If we had to check in, I definitely would have been there much earlier. I will give her that.
Yeah, because that's where the queues are going to be.
Where they always fucking are. It's not security. It's not security. Gareth messaged me at 4:05 in the morning, being like, 9 minutes. 9 minutes between getting out the taxi and sitting down having a coffee.
He went with her in the end. He buckled.
No. He went himself because Gareth's like, it's an international flight, and I don't hate airports, and I'm fucking knackered from everything anyway. An extra 30 minutes isn't going to make a difference to my life, right?
But he ended up giving in to the pressure of Marlena.
A little bit.
It ended up with 2.5 hours to wait in the airport.
Yeah, 2 hours. 2 hours, right? I get picked up by the taxi at 4:30. I'm like, take the long route, take the scenic route. Do you want to go to the zoo? Like, what's up?
If you've got to put petrol in, do it on my watch.
Man, I am smug as fuck at this point, right? I'm so I cannot wait to just go there and just see Marlena eat humble pie and be like, oh, what am I like? Okay, I definitely got this wrong. I'm in the taxi. I get out of the taxi. I pay by the card. I get there. I'm pretty much at security. My phone rings. Taxi driver, hey. My machine didn't have signal there, and the thing didn't go through. I'm really, really sorry. Is there any chance I can invoice you or anything? I was like, I'll come back.
Got time to burn.
I fuck this. Go back to the car. Tap the card. Oh, anything else? You want an autograph? Do you want to talk? Do you want a 5-minute conversation? Do you want a massage? What's going on?
Hit me spliff.
Get back in the fucking airport. Get through security in like 9 minutes. And look, man, in our defence again, downstairs, busy as fuck.
Aye.
Busy as fuck. Rammed. It's understaffed.
Yeah.
Not my problem.
Everyone's in for the flight that they're meant to have in 3 hours because they've got the email. So they fucked themselves by bringing everybody in 3 hours early and clogging up the early flights.
Yeah.
Is exactly what happens with that method.
Yeah. I get through security, and who do I see being wheeled just through the duty free at that point? But Marlena.
So she was late.
I'm like, if this bitch has made Gareth turn up at 4 AM and she's only just arrived, I'll never stop high-fiving her, and I'll have to hold him off of her.
What an awful prank.
Right?
What an awful prank. Getting someone to turn up at the airport at 4 AM and then just going, psych.
So I'm fucking screaming, laughing at this point. I'm like, this is a fucking great. Again, I'm smug as fucking this way, man. You know me. I do not talk to anyone in fucking airports.
But you needed to get to the bottom of this.
No, man. I'm so happy that when I've come through security, right? When I've come through security, sorry, I've got my trainers on that I'm just wearing through my airport, my champagne slacks, my fucking hoodie, right? But in my bag, I've got my RM Williams, my shoes, my boots from Australia, right? Yeah. And my bag comes through. But the tray before my bag, there's my fucking RM Williams, but in a different tray. And I'm like, oh, that's a bit weird. So I sort of go to grab them, and some cunt just picks up his tray and goes away. And I'm like, has some cunt just nicked my RM Williams, right?
Someone has the same shoes as you.
Someone has the same shoes. Of course.
But you're higher in an airport.
I'm higher in an airport. Oh, but none of this was ever, I was never...
Did you chase him down?
No, but with glee in my eyes, I went, mate, I thought you nicked my shoes. I had airport security banter with him for 2 minutes. I was like, I've never spoken to anyone in an airport in my fucking life, and I'm like, hello, stranger, let's bond over this. Why, good sir? Because I am right. I am right.
We have the same shoes. You are the exact guy that you hate, the Tesla guy who plugs in his car to charge and talks to you because you also have a Tesla.
Aye, absolutely.
You were that guy about shoes.
He loved my fucking banner. He was like, I've never seen another person over here with those. And I'm like, I know. Anyway, get through.
I'm like, that was Sambas. I see someone with Sambas. It's like, yeah, nah.
You give them the wee bus driver wave. So get through. Turns out Marlena had gotten there half three, whenever she fucking said she was going to get there, because she, and apparently for her, because I'm just like, just admit you were fucking wrong. Just admit that you got sucked into the hype of the internet and the news, which is fine. It happens to all of us. We all, hear these things and get caught up in the media. And
there's people who still back the Tories. Don't be one of them.
Yeah.
Just admit when you're wrong. You've seen the actions be wrong.
As somebody who frequently travels, my decisions on when I go to an airport should never be fucking brought into question. None of that. She was like, I was right. And I was like, you were right. She was like, they completely forgot that I was, due wheelchair service. So I've been here for ages and I've only just gotten through now. I'm like, that doesn't make you right.
Oh, no. She had something to hang on to?
Aye.
So she's like, if I turned up at 5, there would have been 2 hours waiting for a wheelchair and I wouldn't have gotten in until 7.
Yeah, which is...
It missed my flight.
Aye.
So she thinks I turned up at 3 and catching them clearly off guard because she's way early for a wheelchair.
Worse. She's like, we're both right. I'm like, we're not both right. I'm right. Me and Gareth are right.
Oh, man.
As long as she's happy.
Aye. The gig went well.
That is I said this yesterday, I'm like, that is the fucking gold standard for what I want touring to be from now on.
Well, just in and out the same day, gig at 5:30.
Man, let me tell you about our fucking day, right? So I'm already off to the best start. I'm right, even though Marlena's not in it doesn't matter. I can bask in being right.
Gareth's there to validate it.
Aye. Me and Gareth are having a laugh about it. We get on the plane, we have our fucking naps. We get there. We've paid for this service. Marlena, like a month ago, came to me with something. You know what I'm like with money. I'll just buy things because I have money. Yeah. And she thinks I splash cash on things, whereas I'll just, if I want something, whatever the price of it is, I'll have it. And I'll always, sometimes pay for the better experience. So she doesn't like bringing things to my attention that she knows I'm going to buy, but she has a duty to bring them to my attention. And she's like, so there's this like service they offer in Charles de Gaulle Airport where they'll like meet you and I'm like, whatever it costs. I'm like, don't even tell me the fucking price.
Well, how does this like chauffeur service to get you?
Yeah.
So just man holding up your name with a board?
Oh, no. They will meet you off the plane. And I'm like, whatever the service is, get it fucking immediately, right? So, plane lands. Kind of, Mr. Gareth Watt, Daniel Sloss, please make this known to member staff on the way out, right? We get out, like, off the plane. The plane door opens. There's a guy there with a sign for me and Gareth. And he goes, Sloss Watt? We're like, yeah. And he goes, passports? And we go, yeah. And he goes, follow me. He's dressed immaculately. He's got slick back hair. He's like, he looks like, me and Gareth are saying, like, in a spy movie or a heist movie in Europe, he would be the head of Interpol.
Aye.
All right? And he'd be a good cop, but he would, like... He would mistrust the good guy for a bit, but he was just trying to do his job.
Yeah, he's on top of things. He's well cast.
Aye. And this cunt walks us past the 2-hour Brexit queue.
Oh.
He walks us past. He moves,
this is a thing.
Man, I don't know what badge he had, right? But every member of staff in there just got the fuck out of his way. They changed tapes. They took us around. We walked past the fucking Brexit queue. We walked past the fucking French Nationals queue. We get to the fucking front. They move someone. They get us.
This is a thing.
Oh my God, Kai, right?
You're going to end up broke.
I'm going to not make any profit.
You're going to end up broke as fuck. This is the thing.
Man, when we get through, he's like, do you have any luggage? And I'm like, I wish I did, just to know what you would do.
You just climb on the plane.
Yeah, like what?
Just start throwing everyone else's suitcases off till they find yours.
Or just like, what shoe size? And he just goes through everyone else's luggage until he finds shoes my
size. Just get that guy's shoes. The guy from Edinburgh Airport.
Man, he gets us through it all. He starts walking us to this fucking cab. I'm trying to act cool. Like, in front of Gareth, I've got to pretend this happens all the time.
Yeah.
I've got to
you're trying not to just be absolutely cheesing about it.
I'm like, I can't fucking believe this is a thing. Walking along.
And you're just like, yeah, this is what I always do on tour, aren't I?
Aye. This is, it's called the Platinum Service.
Yeah, sounds legit.
We we're walking along and he turns around and he goes, "Oh, so you guys must be here for the elections." And we go, "What?" And he goes, "You guys must be here for the elections."
The guys thought you were political.
Yeah, because there's a massive. Well, there was
it's them champagne slacks, man. I'm telling you, that's how an ambassador would travel.
Yeah, but also I don't think I think they were like anyone paying for that service. They're like, "Oh, you've got a very important business meeting." No, I hate queues and can afford not to stand in them.
This is like it's unaffordable to not get there in time. That's that service.
No, we just want more time. So
just want to have a glass of wine and a cigarette at the hotel.
So right. So man, this guy takes us along. He gets us to our fucking our black car, puts us in the back of it.
Oh, is that Kaelin ringing you?
God, imagine that. First words over phone.
I don't know about this.
Well, I mean, at least it's safe to voicemail at this point, then I'd always have them. We were just so happy the taxi starts driving. We're about halfway at the airport. I'm just texting Marlene being like, whatever that service is, fucking that forever. That's it. Like, that's how you've spoiled me now. And then I'm like, oh, so we weren't meant to, like, wait for you, were we?
Oh, no. No. Of course you were.
Of course
you were. There's three of you.
No, but it was just, they did it so efficiently. They did it so smoothly. They just got us in.
You got whisked away from the rest of your group.
Yeah, I was just like, I'm like, surely the platinum service includes not travelling with Marlena. So it's just like, no, you fucking idiot. Of course it's...
Yeah, right, well, we all need to be there.
Thankfully, man, we were just at like the...
So did they... Because if she's also got the service too, that means you have to go back for her because that's on him, right?
No, so she didn't have it because she knew that she was getting hurt. She
doesn't have the Brexit queue.
Yeah, she doesn't have a Brexit queue. She's got Austrian passport and she's got the service of, she's always going to be the last off the plane anyway with the wheelchair and they get her through. So she just didn't need it. It would have been an unnecessary expenditure for her. Sorry. I mean, here's me saying I should be have a more professional podcast and my phone's on loud. So we were just at like, no, we hadn't left the airport fully. I was like, oh man, we need to go back. And on the way back, Gareth was like, oh, she did say to me, I'll meet you in the taxi. And I was like, yeah, that would have been good information. It's like, I at least wasn't sat beside her for the fucking flight.
I said, Gareth just fucking done one.
The power had gone to her head. Okay.
Yeah, you get drunk on that sort of shit.
So we get to the fucking venue. It's beautiful. It's set up. It's sold out. And then me and Gareth just go down to the Louvre for a couple of wines, and I'm like, I was just like, I feel so bad because me and Kai have never done this.
I always got on my own
because I'm always knackered.
I just take Instagram with it. Just like, come with me, guys. I'll make some quips about Renaissance art.
Yeah, but that's because I'm always That's because I'm always so exhausted by that point into it. And also, you didn't know how right I was yesterday, Kai. I needed to go out and drink wine and celebrate. Just being her, even though she didn't give me the fucking satisfaction of being like, I'm a big dumb idiot and I got caught up, it was still enough to have it. And then the fucking gig was class and it like only ran like 2 minutes late, which is always impressive. Like whenever it just starts anything close to 5 minutes on time, I'm like, class, brilliant. Same service on the way back, like picked up straight through security, both ways, back home by 11 o'clock. Son in my arms.
Yeah, 18-year-old, fully grown son.
Yeah. He picked me up from the airport.
He's got a mortgage.
So, thank you to the people of Paris. What a turnaround your city has had in my head, because I used to fucking hate Paris.
Oh, did the election go the right way?
I don't.
Because there was a far right party gathering. Was it Marine Le Pen?
Aye.
Was gathering a little bit of traction.
Aye.
And all the fucking divided left was splitting the votes between them instead of fucking getting together. You know how they do. I know very little about French politics, but that's what I gathered from it.
I know heaps about French politics from 1976 to 1810. 1810.
I know French politics, but in song form. Lame as joke.
Aye.
You knew that.
I did.
Carried on from last week.
Yep.
Just trying not to make the podcast one big in joke, but it is what it is.
Aye.
It is
Is that part of the problem? There's too many in-jokes at this point. Maybe that's how we should rebrand. You know, we do like a rebrand every time there's a new bit and we bump up. Maybe next season, no in-jokes completely. Or, I mean, that could be worse. We could just fucking isolate the OGs and then have no one.
So while you were doing that, apologies to the people in front. Well, not apologies because you got Gareth Vaughan. He's fucking amazing. But
he smashed it as well.
I'm sorry for me that I wasn't there.
Aye.
Also, because I was at my brother's wedding.
Aye.
He's fucking mint.
Aye.
I love a wedding, me.
Aye.
In class.
Well, you got heaps coming up still.
I know. I'm like, because I just done altitude and really had to, I mean, you heard us on the Monday podcast last week. I really had to fucking pull myself together throughout the week to have a wedding in us. But we've done a 2-day bender because on the night before the wedding we went to the match and Newcastle won 1-0 and pretty much guaranteed us safety. So obviously we didn't go straight home. We went to Mark Nelson's hotel room.
Aye.
Because it was like, should we get at the strippers? And Khan was just like, right, we can't really hang one on because we've got the wedding tomorrow. Khan's best man.
Aye.
So we can't really hang one on, so let's just go and see Mark and have a pint with Mark. I was like, we would have getting home way earlier.
Less dances as well.
It just got real bleak.
Aye, now I'm going to have glitter on my cock as well.
So we had a belt night there, and then I was warning them because Matty was out and Karen was out and Gav was out, and I was warning them. I was like,
you don't need to warn anyone when Matty's out.
I was warning them my suit was dangerous.
Oh, God.
It's like, he's in trouble tomorrow when you see me suit.
Aye.
Right, so I'm dressed up now, I'm with my mum and dad, I'm looking mint, right? And I walk into the pub for everyone to see me suit.
Aye.
Bros had the same one on.
I bet it fit him better as well.
And what was funny is the difference in my reactions. Because I was like, hey, we got the same suit on. And he was like, oh, for fuck's sake. Because for me, it was like, because Bros is like, he's just really good at fucking roasting everybody. And I'm a comic.
Aye.
But he's just like, fucking, that's his one gear. It's just rip the fuck with everybody, whatever you're wearing, whatever your haircut, whatever that, right? You're just like, he's just at you and it's funny, it's good entertainment. And I was just like, I'm off the hook. you can't take the piss out of me suit. You can get it every motherfucker in, yeah, I'm on base.
If he had any honour, he would take it as an insult himself and then, take himself down in flames.
The only difference between my suit is he got his from Giacomo. he's good because we met up because he's ripped everybody for being fat when we played for the football club. Aye. He's always in good shape, Brozzy. And he's just had his salad belt a lockdown, honey.
Aye.
He's just a bit.
Many of us did.
He's just a bit rounder.
Aye.
And he's like, he's going, we're going on holiday together in June for Matty's 40th. And he's just there going, I can't go on this holiday. I've laid too many people out for the size I am.
Aye.
And I'm going to be getting in the pool with my t-shirt on. Aye. And you guys have already done too much.
I don't want to eat any humble pie. And you know how much I love fucking pie.
I've done too much damage. He's essentially body shamed in the same way I dog shamed. And he's there now. But the when was class because
they both say yes.
They both did, and everybody held their peace, or whatever it's called, forever hold your peace. I always find that moment, when they're like, oh, speak now or forever hold your peace, and then like just everyone just has a little glance around. A few people have jokes brewing that they never let bubble over.
Or there's like little like tears between people who do the joke just between them.
Yeah, it's like cough something under their breath. Thailand. Everybody hears it.
What happened in Thailand? Nothing. You've heard that Malcolm Hardy story, have you?
No.
Malcolm Hardy, comedian who died years ago by falling off a boat into a river because he couldn't swim. It was great.
Died doing what he loved.
Aye, being fucked on a boat.
Learn how to swim.
He was, there's just so many stories about him. He was he was very, very funny, and he was also fucking mental in his own way. Apparently when he got married, before he got married, his wife knew how much, obviously she's marrying a comic, right? And she knows he makes jokes.
And not just a comic. Malcolm Hardy's reputation precedes him.
Aye.
Like, I never met Malcolm Hardy, and I feel like I know him because everybody has a Malcolm Hardy story.
Yeah, aye. Marlena's got many stories about him, and so many people I know who met him just have, really, really, funny ones, and ones that you cannot repeat, and I will not repeat on air.
And ones that would absolutely have him cancelled in today's society. Yeah, he was born in the correct generation by the sound of it. Like,
For example, one of the stories that goes around about him is he stole Freddie Mercury's cake and then took it to an old Freddie Mercury's birthday cake and then took it to an old folks home to feed them on it. Like, that's one of the Malcolm Hardy stories.
Still had a stripper in it.
So she obviously knows there's going to be a bunch of comedians at the wedding, but she's very religious and her family's very religious and they're getting married in the church, and she's like, make jokes before and after. Don't make a joke during the fucking ceremony. Don't make a joke in the church. Don't do anything like that. Just have some respect for my family's like religion and do not make a joke or anything in the church. She's like, yeah, obviously, yeah. And she's like, Malcolm, I swear to fucking God, do not. He's like, I'm not gonna. She doesn't let it go. Ceremony's going fine. It's doing well. He says all the right things. He doesn't put on a silly voice. He doesn't wink at any of his friends. He doesn't do anything crazy.
He keeps his whoopee cushion deflated.
His tie doesn't spin around. The flowers don't squirt water.
He keeps the snakes in his book. All the rakes down the aisle are turned the correct way around.
He's not asking the priest if he wants a knuckle sandwich.
Nobody has to smell the cheese.
Anyone want a Hertz donut, huh?
He never says to anyone, "Spack," I say what? He never once mentions up, Doc.
At no point did he go, bogies.
Best behaviour. His tuxedo bill remains unfilled. Doesn't want straight up to his chin like a scroll. I cannot stress enough. Best behaviour. I don't know why that's I don't know, but he never once goes Baldy.
Oh God. Well, whatever he did to his dog, it was funny.
The story's done. No, so anyway, he's itching to do all those things.
Alright.
His wife's giving him the side eye, man.
He's got something up his sleeve.
Loads of hankies tied together.
Offers in a tissue when she's crying during the speech. Oh, and it starts unrolling from his trousers all the way up. Comes all the way off and he's wearing Borat's bikini underneath. And then yells, my wife, well ahead of his time. 30 years.
It's not even out yet. Ali G hasn't even been conceived.
Literally. Oh God. So there, he's on his best behaviour, he's not doing anything.
He doesn't put any bubble bath in the holy water. That's still body of water.
Yeah, he doesn't take the priest's nose.
But he does find 50 pence behind his ear.
Puts in the donation bowl.
Alongside his nose. Like.
Oh God. So they get down, you know that bit where they feed you the wafer.
Oh yeah, I always take my own little bit of butter for that. Get it from hotel breakfasts. Get it wafer and churches.
It's just a bit dry.
Butter in the body of Christ.
Just making it dead sexy. It's just like you're lathering him up.
Have we got the name for the podcast?
We'll call it Best Behaviour.
Best Behaviour.
He gets down on his knees. He gets down on her knees, and the entire congregation starts laughing their fucking ass off. And she turns around. She's like, "What you done?" He's like, I don't know, like, and she can't. He's not done anything. He's just got down on his knees. But everyone's sort of tearing and laughing. And she's like, whatever. Turns out on the bottom of his shoes he'd written, "Help me."
And he's just styling it out.
Yeah. She's got no idea. She didn't find out till afterwards, and she didn't. I don't think she did divorce him.
And then he shook her dad's hand, and he got an electric shock.
Oh God.
So Gav and Ali weren't going to get married because you know how some people just like don't believe in marriage, even though it definitely exists.
Aye.
They're just like, I don't need a bit of document, and it makes sense. Like I understand it a little bit when you're like, I don't need a document.
Aye, but man, the second you bring a kid into the world, like it just gets like.
I remember before Martin Lawrence, other Lawrence.
The
one who's the opposite of black, the racist.
Oh, Fox.
Andrew Lawrence.
Oh, right.
Is it Andrew Lawrence?
Yeah.
Ginger guy.
Aye.
Before he was like a far-right psychopath, he had a bit about like not celebrating his phone contract. It's like it's a contract. Like when I sign up for fucking to Orange, I didn't get all my mates to run. Hey, I've got a contract. Come and celebrate it with us. So I kind of get that, like that formalising your love for each other thing kind of takes the whole romance out of it. I get that angle, but it's
weddings are class.
But weddings are class, and it's like you're one big get together to like you've got a card that you can play where you can go, I'm going to get all my mates, all your mates, get them all together, have a piss up, and they've all got to turn up.
Aye.
And
just get absolutely fucking
and you pay that card, and when you're there, like it's palpable how much love you feel coming in your direction on that day. It's self-indulgent, right? You're inviting everybody to come round and fucking celebrate how much they love you. The only time that'll happen again is your funeral.
Aye.
You may as well have one when you're alive.
Yeah.
Right? So if you can't do it, that's my opinion, but they were very much out of that. But then, like you say, the kid coming to the world,
aye.
And also second names in this year. We're travelling through the airport with a different second name. Her ma passed away, and she hasn't got like very big family.
Aye.
So Gav was looking at it like, let's fold you into our family now.
Aye.
So there's just like a number of reasons where they just like went, let's do it, and like rush of blood to the head. Gav proposed, booked a venue at very short notice, and had this shotgun wedding. But it was so funny watching how much she was out of her comfort zone, but embracing it.
Aye.
But she was just like, this isn't me, this.
Oh, really?
She's got her wedding dress on, everyone's looking at her, and she's like, I just like to be at the back of the room, me. I like to be at the other side of this.
She's an introvert.
They're getting photos and all that, and like, which obviously she wants photos of her big day, but the minute they're choreographing the photographs and getting everyone together, like, can we get the family on this side and your family? Like, she's just like, and Gav's like, look at Ali, man, a bit of her soul dies every time that camera shutter clicks. But it was very much, you could tell she thoroughly enjoyed it despite being massively out of her comfort zone.
Aye.
And it was like, I could see that she was going through, like I mentioned before, the same thing as me finding out that I really love my little dog. Where she goes, oh, I've made a stance about this and I actually quite like it. It's actually nice at the end.
I've got to back down.
And then one of my mates ads provided the entertainment for the full event by rating every man there out of 10 brutally. Like, he gave everybody a breakdown of their appearance.
Who did this?
Ads.
Oh,
You've met ads before.
I don't think he can fucking start that game.
He's exactly who can start that game. You can't have that coming from someone hot.
Aye, that's fair.
You know what I mean?
Aye.
You couldn't have like Natalie's brother
Aye,
coming into a wedding and start breaking.
Oh God, yeah, you just cry.
You need that to be a fucking super average looking guy.
Aye.
You know. So he done that, but it started getting really political amongst the lasses who were like felt the need to defend their boyfriend, husband's honour. So I got given a 5.5, right? I'm not bothered about that at all.
That's above average, isn't it?
I'm like, I'm not wanting to fucking rely on my looks.
Aye.
Like anything that I get looks wise, it's just a bonus.
Aye.
Right? Because
also, like in theory, 5.5 is above average.
Aye. It has to be, right?
Aye.
Otherwise, the rating scale is wrong. But obviously, like fucking, you're not gonna be rocking like anything higher than an 8 at my age.
Aye.
Like it's a young man's game appearance, for one. So did I ever tell you about in Brucey's stag do with another one of my friends? I just use people's names like you know them, listen to the podcast, but. One of my friends got married in 2018, and he's the lad I've mentioned him before. His brother's got Down syndrome, so Andy's there, Andy's best man, and this lass is going out giving people like a number out of 10, and she's only got 10 numbers, and she's dishing them out to people. It's one of her hen party games, is to dish them out. And true to form, I get me 5. Right? I'm like, all right, she rounded it down, but she's got to give the 6 to someone, right? So I take me 5, and I'm like, all right, that's whatever, right? I'm not here to pull. Right?
Aye.
Right, he gives the right guy the 5. And then she give Andy a 3.
Oh, that feels...
I'm like, you're actually playing the game here.
Aye.
You're actually playing the game here. You had to get out a jail card here. You could give Andy the 10.
Aye.
It saves you having to flirt with somebody in a bar in Albufeira.
Aye.
Right? It's like, just give the lad with a disability a 10.
Unless she didn't know he was disabled and just thought he looked like that.
You know Andy?
Aye, I don't...
Right. I've said this before, he's got it all upstairs. You can have solid conversations with Andy. His speech gets in the way a bit, but if you can understand what he's saying, he's holding a fucking conversation with you, right? He's you know exactly what I'm talking about. He's a Geordie. But from the outside looking in,
yeah.
If you close your eyes and picture someone with Down syndrome and then don't change it any, that's Andy.
Aye.
Right? She couldn't have not known.
Aye.
She gave him a 3, which I thought was brutal.
Until you saw who she gave the 1s and 2s to.
She gave Scotty D the 2. And it was almost like she fucking... Yeah, I'm playing this so fucking seriously, by the way.
Aye.
Give Andy the 3. And give another one of my mates the 2. I was like, that's purified.
Aye.
It's absolutely purified how ugly she thinks you are.
Aye, because she's acknowledged. Like, if he got the 10 and then she gave you the 2, then it's, you know.
So, I'd give us a 5.5. So he's marking it out of 100. I got a 55. Right? He's bringing decimal points into it, and he wasn't just digging 0.5s either. He was digging it like right across the scale. And then he does Demas, and he breaks down Demas and gives him a 5.5 in front of Natalie. And Natalie just instinctively kicked off about it. And Demas is like, eh? And then Rachel, Demas' wife's like, I think he's a good looking man, I'm married to him. And Natalie just like went in full throttle. Guy's hotter than him, I'm telling you now. And that was just happening at all our other tables with people's wives and lasses. So, like, it was just all our wives and girlfriends just lobbying for it to be hotter, while none of us give a fuck about our appearance at all. And then later in the evening, Gav decided because he wasn't going to do a speech. He was just like, I don't know, I haven't really thought about it. I might just gather everybody in. And he gets everybody in, and he does a speech. And I don't think he mentioned his last one. Like, it was just like a Facebook status about the plot. It was like about the everybody.
He didn't read it as happiness bar chart.
No, he got his bar chart, dude. Which, for anybody that doesn't know this, if you haven't watched my Punch Drunk show, which is actually available on Patreon if you scroll all the way to the bottom, because I put it as a welcome gift for when we first started the Patreon. Me and Gav used to share a computer when we lived together, and he left his happiness bar chart open.
What's a happiness bar chart, you ask?
It's a bar chart about his happiness that, like, it's a scale that...
Have you ever met somebody that people with dream journals give wedgies to? Like, oh God!
In the
I love Gav. I think he's a gorgeous looking man with an Adonis body. But fucking, what an airy-fairy poetry-loving man sometimes.
The thing about the happiness bar chart as well is like, it wasn't just for himself, it was patter.
Was it?
He made it as patter. He made it so that he could send it to the girl that was making him happy.
Oh, God. Okay. Well, I mean, does that make it worse?
A bit of left field, I'm different to the other guys.
Yeah, that's not the different I meant. I meant, like, don't cheat on me and stuff. Not be weird with your emotions. You fucking autistic twat. Fucking measuring your happiness in numbers.
Speaking of autistic, as soon as I saw it, I was like, that's not a bar chart, that's a line graph, that. So I just done like this big long Facebook status about how like everybody's polarised with their opinions and stuff like that, and there's people in this room that might disagree with each other politically and all that, but we'll all come together, and it turns out that we'll all get along face to face in social media. Like, he can't mention his wife. And then anyway, they had their first dance. I think they had like Green Day on or something. It was like definitely like a Gavin Ali song. I think it was Skater Boy by Avril Lavigne or something like that. He was like, it was like an album track from some like fucking new metal from the thousands. I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was. But he was like, sing along if you know the words, and no one knew the words. I was like, can't even dance to this. And then afterwards, after the dance, you got Cannon to make a speech and kind of just like said a few thank yous and that. And then the cunt went, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Kai Humphries. Just fucking chucked me in the mix. Right. I wasn't best man. I didn't have no prepared. I didn't have no ready. I just took a massive line.
So I had something to say.
I said stuff. But what a waste of a resource. I could have had something beautiful prepared.
Aye.
But now
instead of your business plans for a restaurant, fine dining.
But I managed to like say some bits. Like I said some bits. I got
that Beavis wedding.
I got me big laugh. This was where the big laugh I got come from. It was, you know how I mentioned about like thank you for putting the wedding on, because everybody gets that one card that you get to play where you invite all your nearest, unless it's Can when you just get married every other fucking week.
Why not?
And Amy come up to us after that and she was like, you better not mention his previous marriage in the speech at my wedding. This is his like future wife.
Oh well, I mean,
it's like
there's a big red button.
But you know that I've already been spoken to about your speech as well.
Aye.
I'm not allowed to mention your ex-girlfriend.
Aye. Or her sister.
Same person, isn't it? Same person. So I'm going to have to allude to it.
Aye. Wink, nudge, nudge.
I'm going to have to just be like, look, I've been told not to point out the elephant in the room, but Barry's here. Stuff like that. Just keep making you think I'm going to talk about it, and then not.
Jordan's wedding, my friend in Australia, Ali was best man and gave a really good speech, and I was wine drunk and protest stoned. Like I think at one point one of the wedding party was like, oh, you're not I just put weed at the wedding.
You're like, this is a wedding.
Aye. I'm like, well, that's all I'm doing all day. I only wanted to smoke one joint tonight at 9 p.m. But now that you've told me,
imagine going to somebody who enjoys drinking. By the way, you're not allowed to drink at this wedding.
Aye. So I'm.
You're like, Natalie, did we have to get married? No, man.
I'm like, this is great. Ali's got the speech covered. It's great. It's beautiful. It's nice. I can just get fucking drunk. And then everyone gets drunk, and then like somebody made an impromptu speech, or like his wife's friend's mum, because her mother passed away when she was younger. So like this other woman who was like a mother to her did a speech, and it was nice, and everyone cried. And then her other friend who's like a sister to her said something as well, and it was impromptu and cried. And I was like, oh, this is nice. And then Jordan's dad was like, oh, Daniel, you say something. I'm like, no.
Oh, man.
No, I can't remember what I said. Like literally just, when you're just too drunk. Like I wouldn't. Oh, sorry. Like I was about to say I wouldn't have gone on stage that drunk, but you've seen what I've got on stage.
It's like it's such a weird thing that everyone's got this expectation, like, oh, comedian, get up and say something that, like, even if you're a guest at a wedding and you're the plus one. Like, I've had that before where they're like, oh, you get up and do your turn and all that. You're like, well, I'm not going to do a set. And it's not my place to get up at this wedding. It is like there's a certain
and also
expectation.
you can't afford me.
But on in hindsight, I should have probably just anyway had something prepared for Gavs. He's my brother. I should have maybe had something in my back pocket ready. But I mean, I still got up and said some words. And the thing is as well, like they just had the regular DJ on. They didn't use the punch drunk PA. So the mic was like, even in and out of Gavs, the mic was just fucking in and out. And when I got it, I went to speak and it just in and out it on us straight away. And I just tossed it to one side and fucking just, who the fuck need, like, just instantly just use a bit of stagecraft and fucking get that situation dealt with, right? So I'd done that, and then the fucking bloke afterwards had a word with this guy, and you've broke me mic, thrown it on the floor, and I just went straight out the top. I was like, fuck you and everything, because he gave a broken mic to me, bro, for his wedding speech. It's his fucking wedding. He doesn't get another one unless he's can. I was like, it's his fucking big day. Do your fucking sound check. Check your equipment. Don't give him a broken mic and then fucking act like I broke it. You fucked it. You fucked it.
You were just waiting for that to happen. You broke it.
And I'm like, as well, I grabbed his mic. I was like, what about, you like a tenor? You seen this piece of shit? Like, fucking, we work in the industry where, like, it was.
But I couldn't tell you what. I mean,
mate, you could have. It was like that marker pen. It was like that marker pen. I picked it up, my fucking hand went up because I was waiting for some resistance. I was like, it can't physically have batteries in. I was fucking annoyed with him after that because he was trying to put it on me for breaking it. I was like, nah, because I get that, anybody that does a mic drop, it's the rudest shit.
It's somebody else's equipment.
It's the rudest shit. Doing a mic drop, like, fuck, get a big laugh, drop the mic. That's someone's gear. Rude shit. But for me, I was like...
Yeah, what other electricals would you just fucking drop?
I only dropped it on the floor because there wasn't a bin next to us. It was broken.
Don't mic drop. Like, you wouldn't drop your own phone.
Yeah.
I've just sent a really fire text. Oh, whoops. Don't do it with somebody else's mic. Before we go, I do need to tell you that I did something that 2 months ago would have been a crime, but now is fine.
It's fine.
I was changing my son's nappy, and sometimes, look, he loves having his cock out. I can't. There's a bit when you take off his nappy and you wipe his bum, and he's just there with his belly and his cock and his arse out, and he's the happiest he's ever been.
Why wouldn't it be? It's the freedom, the comfort and freedom of not having a fucking balloon strapped to your crotch, like.
And he's looking at me. He's like, "Thanks for this gift. This is the best part of my day." There I am. Now, obviously, he's on a change mat, and occasionally, with the wind rustling through his arse and tickling his balls, he might shit or piss, which is fine. The mat's wipeable, but the first couple times he did it, he was just doing like small pisses and small shits, and we used to have we still have the PPTPs, which is little cloth things that you put over the cock when they start pissing, and those are great. Can't recommend them enough if you have a baby boy.
Only work on boys.
Only work on boys. You can't. Yeah, my friend Ali, I saw when he was changing his daughter, she pissed, and he literally just had to put his hand. He was like, he's like, man,
it's a garden sprinkler.
Yeah, it's gonna go fucking everywhere unless I put this right here. Didn't have PPTPs. Hadn't set up my station properly. While he was there, he started pissing, and it's always going down, but it's landing, or it normally lands like on the mat and then trickles up, and you've got to kind of get him out of the way so it doesn't go on his back and doesn't get on his, like, in his, any of his clothes, so he's not fucking stinking to piss, and you've got to change him and give him a bath. But I can't stop the fucking flow because I don't have the PPTP. So instinctively, what do you do when there's a wayward cock pissing?
Put your hand there, just what Ali did.
Point out, aim it.
He aimed his cock.
Aye, I just had to, and I was like,
where to? In his face.
You'll learn one way or another.
Do you just nip it and let it balloon up?
I'm picturing it. The way you stops yourself pissing on long road trips as a kid. No, before I knew what I was doing.
I've never done that, is it? No. Like nip your cock and then just piss a little bit of your foreskin.
No,
I've done that in the urinal as a kid. And like, maybe once or twice as an adult.
What else are you going to do in a bathroom?
But, so you just aimed it
Had to just grab
Put your finger over the top, like on the tap.
I sprayed it, shaking like a champagne ball.
Like you'd won the Formula One.
I just had to like grab his cock and they point it downwards, which was actually, by the way, I'm going to tell you straight up, way more efficient because then I got to aim it further away. Yeah. So at that point, I could just, it was way further away from trickling down his back, and I'm like, this might be a little fucking life hack. And then Cara walked into the room, and he stopped pissing.
Are you getting your alibi down on the podcast? Did you wank off your baby?
No. Thankfully, the piss was there, so
it was your drool. I love that you precursor that story as this would have been a crime 2 months ago. Like you reached the age of consent.
No, but it was just if I was to grab a baby's cock, if I was to grab a baby's cock
before your baby was born.
Aye. You're allowed to grab your own baby's cock. I've checked.
Aye, you must be able to. I grabbed my granddad's cock. I tell you that. That was in one of my shows. Mm-hmm. He was about to piss his pants and I just got his cock out. And both were like, pissing the pants would have been better. Like.
A lot more respect for both of us had that been the case.
Yeah. And I was only like, it was just a figure of speech guy, I'm going to piss my pants. We're just walking to the shop, we're walking the dog.
You made me laugh. Jesus Christ, you made me laugh. The next thing I know, you've got my cock out the side of the road.
And he's like, oh, can't man, I pissed my pants here. And I'm like, oh, get my granddad's cock out. No, it was because, write your own jokes here, but he'd had a stroke. And he couldn't get his cock out when he was trying to piss. End of his cardboard beaker.
We're going to have to wrap up because that phone call I missed was I am getting life insurance.
That's going to be expensive given your lifestyle.
And how much I'm worth to Cara if I'm dead.
Aye.
Which is I'm worth a tidy sum. Like I'm worth a murderable amount for her.
Aye.
Well, not for her. Like she doesn't give a shit about money, but like.
But if you died, she'd be way better off than
if
you're just like floating in and out, wanking off your baby making podcast.
Aye.
She's just like, can I just have the money?
Go and just choke on something. So I've got to go get a health check, and I don't think they give you a prostate exam, but I am going to request one.
Aye.
That's the platinum service.
Going in for your health check with just a t-shirt on.
As happy as my son is when he's like that. I've got my cock out, it's my favourite time of day.
Just a red t-shirt and a jar of honey.
I start pissing, she aims my cock, and I'm like, this is perfect. Thanks to everyone who came to the Paris show. You were great. Everyone else, join the Patreon. We'll see you on Thursday, you fucks.